3, 2, 1, action! Okay, so hey everybody. So this is my video tutorial for Spatchcock chicken, which I was calling Spatchcock chicken, and now I call it slapshot chicken because you literally like slap it on a pan, shoot it into the oven, and then bring it back up for an amazing family dinner. To me, this is one of the like easiest things to cook, whether you're on your own or you've got a dinner party or you want to have an easy meal for your family. So here's a chicken. I'm going to show you how to butterfly, or how to basically take the breastbone out of it or the backbone out of it. But my mom used to teach me to always rinse the chicken. Like once you get it out of the bag or the package, rinse it under cold water. I've already done that. And then just pat it off. I'm a little bit obsessed with like kitchen stuff and keeping food safe. So how you actually, can you see that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, look at me for a sec. You know the videos that everything looks perfect and the person teaching the video is like all made up and done? Yeah, that's not what this is. This is real life at like 4:30 and we're getting dinner onto the table after kids are home from homeschooling now. So here's what you do. If you don't have a good pair of kitchen scissors, I highly recommend them. These are Henkel's and I love them. So you want to take a look at your chicken and first of all, you want it to go breast side down, right? So you go breast side down. And then all you're going to be doing, I cut off, this is called like the Pope's nose, I think. So I cut that off. And then I find on either side, you can feel it. You can feel it, actually, if you even go this way, you can turn it so that it's around like this. And you can even see the bone right in there. And you're just going to cut. There's my dog. You can cut all the way through. And that's why you want those really good sharp chicken scissors. And trust me, I'm not one of those people who loves touching raw meat. So there's not gonna be a lot of facial shots because I'm like that when I cut this. So it's kind of gross. You just gotta remember you can wash your hands. So now I've opened up the chicken and I've got the other side to cut down. So you're gonna take the shears, find the bone, and you're just cutting. 2-hand squeeze, another. I'm almost there. Ready? And there we go. Now, what you're going to notice is there's the gross stuff, and I hate the gross stuff, okay? So I actually just, you're going to keep that because you can freeze it and then roast it for turkey soup, right? That's how you can make your own turkey stock. But I don't like the kidney meat being in there. So I'm going to take out, let's see here, a knife, and I'm just going to scrape out the gross stuff. Ugh, that's a kidney. Did you know that, Liv?
That's disgusting. That's very tiny as well.
Yeah, so I just kind of, some of you might not be as squeamish, some of you might be more squeamish. I think I'm in the middle. I also cut away any extra fat. So I don't, chicken skin, some people love it extra crispy. I'm going to take out that little kidney guy right there. Oh, I cringe. I'm cringing on the inside as I touch it. And what I'm going to do now is, I see a bit more of this fat down here, so I'm just going to snip that away. I don't save that for the soup. If you put that into your water, you're going to get a really gross, like oily soup stock, so you don't want that. So I'm going to pull those extra things away. I can see some extra skin in through there. I'm going to take that away. And now I'm just going to get the glove. And I'm going to put this onto my pan. Actually, sorry, there's one more step. So you can see that it's not really opening up. Like even though I've cut it, it's like really only half spatched. So this is where I need to get a slightly heavier knife. And I don't use my good knives to cut down. Because what I have to do here, can you shoot in, Liz? Yeah. You've got the breastbone in here. So what you want to do is you need to just give it a bit of a slice. Got to kind of put your, there, you could hear the crack right there, hey? And that's going to be good enough to now pull apart. That was my daughter gagging. And I'm going to now be able to turn it over and open it up. Now, the reason why cooking, do you see it? Isn't that pretty? By the way, I did put parchment paper down on a big cookie tray because this is gonna be a 1-dish meal. So I just arrange the pieces. I don't splay it out like that. I just tuck it over like that because dark meat takes a little bit longer to cook than white meat. And now we're gonna go on and mix some other ingredients so that we can season this chicken and get it ready to throw into the oven. So, hit stop for a sec. Okay. Okay, so now what you want to make, and you can do this before you like open up your chicken, but this is just basic ingredients, right? It's some butter, it's some olive oil, it's lemon, garlic, kosher salt, and some pepper. And all I'm doing here, so I do have a recipe. I'll attach the recipe so you can see everything. But here's the deal: if you're the analytical type, like need to know and have everything perfect, you'd probably take your measuring spoon and go in and measure off the butter. I'm more of the fact that a recipe is a guide and I can just kind of estimate it by eyeball because I've done this so much. So you're gonna take some butter. The recipe here calls for about 4 tablespoons. So I'm just gonna take a thwack of butter. I'm gonna put it into the bowl. I'm also gonna take, it calls for about a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm just gonna throw a little bit in there. And the reason that I do that is this is what helps you, this helps mix everything. You wanna take some lemon zest. Now I've already zested part of a lemon, so I'm just gonna take some from the other side there. And if you like more lemon flavor, then put a little bit more zest in. Again, you don't always have to be like super specific, but you want to make sure you take the time to add these basic flavors. And of course, I like garlic. So if you like garlic, great. If you don't like garlic, don't put it in. But really, who doesn't like garlic? So I try to make this easy. Again, if you want to use the jarred garlic, you can. You don't have to use everything from scratch. But I do find that this garlic has like a stronger flavor. So if you notice, it's a pain to get the skin off right now. So I take my knife, I just do a bit of a thwack. I press down on it, make sure you're careful not to cut your hand, and boom, the paper comes off like that, right? So I'm just looking to get the clove out of the garlic, and that way I can easily press it. So this is like the finicky stuff. And sometimes if I know I'm going to be using garlic later for another meal, I'll do a whole bunch of garlic at once. And right now there's a jar of garlic, minced garlic, sitting in the fridge. I just wanted to use the real cloves because I like the flavor better for this chicken. All right, that's a fiddly one. So take this, I'm going to throw a few cloves in there. So again, if you want to make this easy, you can save a few minutes right here by not using the real garlic. I'm gonna throw in, I think the recipe calls for like 2. I put a bit more in. Why? Because I like it. I like the flavor. It tastes good. I'm just gonna press it again. Can you see how that comes out? So squish, and then I'll take a knife and just throw that in there. Now, the other thing that I do is I'll take a little section of the lemon off, and I'm just gonna use a lemon zester and squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in there. I don't put too much in because otherwise you're gonna have a real hard time emulsifying or mixing up this. So I'm gonna mix and mix. You can see it's all coming nicely together there. And basically you're making like a butter paste, right? And now I love having kosher salt in my kitchen. You can see it's just a little bit like coarser crystals. So I'm not shy with salt. If you have anybody with hypertension or anything like that that you want to worry about, you can use less. I'm going to throw that in. I'm going to probably throw a little bit more in. I'm going to grate some pepper. And there we go. So now this is ready. And now you might be like, okay, well, what does she do with that? And I'm going to show you. So I'm now ready to bring the chicken back over. And this is probably a good time to turn on the oven. So I'm just going to hit 425 and hit, preheat your oven. Liv, just keep your eyes on the chicken for a second. I'm going to grab one more thing out of the fridge because we have it somewhere. I made this the other night and grabbed some fresh thyme. So I'm just gonna throw some thyme in there as well. Some of the little, oh, what is it? Oh, honey, it's just a herb. Smell.
Oh, it smells weird. It smells good.
It smells good. Yeah, it smells good.
It smells like cooking.
Smells like cooking. Smells like turkey in a way.
Yeah.
So you can just strip off some of those little leaves and throw them in. I'm gonna use it to like finish the chicken. So this is kind of another gross part. Are you ready? So this is when you're gonna grab out an extra spoon if you think you might need it. I suggest that you do. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your finger. Can you see that, sweetie? And you're separating the skin from the meat. So I'm just going through and I'm taking my finger and I'm just separating the skin. I'm gonna find a little pocket up here. So I have to, there's fascia. So you just gotta break the fascia so you can have a little pocket. And on that side, I'm gonna do it on the leg as well. So, oh, I've got that extra skin there. Where did I put those scissors? I'm gonna cut that off, I don't like it. Where are the scissors? Okay, oh yeah, they're over here. One sec. Ooh. Ah! Turkey or chicken neck down. So I'm just gonna cut a bit of that fat off. I discovered it there. Our dog is right in the middle. Yep. So yeah, here, okay. You're just gonna separate. So see how I'm getting in there? This is the gross part. Again, I used to wear gloves, true story, at one point. I did not like the feel of this. It was gross to me, but now, well, I don't mind so much. I just wash my hands. So then you just pull it back over and you do the same thing on the other side. And you make a little pocket. This is why you want to wash your hands really well after. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a chunk, I don't know how much that is. You're gonna take a glob, and you're gonna put it under there. You're gonna take another glob and put it under there. So notice how I'm not like, take a teaspoon of this. Like that's really finicky and it makes it easy to feel like you're gonna somehow screw it up or cook or do something wrong. So to me, cooking is just about practicing. You can perfect it as you get more experience. So now I can see the chicken or the butter in there. So now I'm just gonna take my finger and massage it in. So I can I'm spreading out that glob and I'm gonna just massage it in. I can see it there, I'm spreading it out. And I'm gonna spread out this glob right here as well. I want a bit more on the leg. My kids like the legs, so I'm gonna make sure those are nice and seasoned for them. So yeah, there wasn't any in there, so I'm gonna glob it in. I'm gonna glob it in. And now you've got a bit of the butter mixture left in the bowl, which is why I said get a spoon, because now you're gonna need to get it all together. And guess what you do with this? You're gonna blob it onto the chicken. So if you're wondering about like the extra fat on here, you have to remember that all of this extra fat, you're not necessarily eating all of the butter that's in here. The butter is used as a way to season, crisp the skin, and give everything flavor. It's not like you're literally putting a tablespoon or of butter into your mouth and swallowing it. So I'm gonna get the wings there and in there, and then I'm gonna try to, the reason I like having the spoon handy is I can take that and then I can use the spoon to scrape off any of the excess goodness, buttery, chicky goodness that's on my finger. I can do the other side. Like that, right? And now I haven't wasted any. I'm gonna quickly wash my hands and then show you what comes next here. So one sec. Should I pause? Keep going, honey.
Okay. There's Harley.
An entertainment break?
Yes, entertainment break. Harley, do some dance. Do a dance. He's like, I'm ready.
All right, it's hard to,
There's the chicken.
Have, like, paper towel or tea towels around that you wash after.
There is the chicken in all of its glory.
Look, so now you're learning how to cook chicken, Liv.
You're right, I am.
Okay, so I'm gonna just put this aside. This has chicken stuff, so it goes into the sink. And now what you wanna do is you're gonna get out a bowl. And it's a one pot meal. So that means you can take any good roasting kind of vegetables. So potatoes, carrots, Brussels sprouts, onions, whatever you like. This isn't the time that you would use peppers or mushy kind of vegetables because those require less cooking time. But parsnips, you could throw asparagus in the last sort of 10-15 minutes of cooking. So I'm gonna quickly peel and chop these and we'll be back in just 2 seconds. Okay, so now we have a bowl full of veggies. I've got onions, potatoes, carrots in there. And so what we need to do is give them a really light coating of olive oil. So really light. So a lot of people are like, they freak out thinking it's gonna be the oil that you're cooking with that makes you fat. This dinner does not cause you to gain weight. It's the stuff that you eat while you're cooking dinner or if you're hungry afterwards. Hungry meaning like emotionally hungry. So I'm just gonna take a quick drizzle of olive oil. It's probably less than a tablespoon, and this is where I get my hands dirty all the time with cooking. And I'm gonna just coat the veggies. I'm just coating the veggies, that's all I'm doing. Giving it a little, just a little massage. And then I'm gonna take this, and we've got this beautiful sheet, and I'm gonna take it and throw. Now I think I mentioned that I made this the other night and it was so good, and I love onions, so I'm throwing in extra onions this time because they were gone before I really had any. So I just split them up, and these are just again super light coating. I'm gonna mix this in. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna turn some of the potatoes I cut in half, and others I left. Some of the carrots that got thicker I cut in half. Some of them I left whole. And I'm just turning them face down. This gives you that nice, beautiful, caramelized flavor of your vegetables. It is so good. When you cook at a high heat, which 425 is, it brings out the really nice flavors in your vegetables. And I know that these are a little bit packed together. Sometimes I might try to create a bit more space, but I'm looking to cook once and eat a few times this week from this meal, so I'm not gonna care. There's times to care. So now I'm just gonna bring that chicken up. I can see it there. The oven went off, so that's perfect. My time to preheat was bang on. One time I did this and then I forgot to preheat the oven, and then I had to wait. So you can see I just kind of, I'll look at those ones face side down. And I'm gonna take the onions and just sort of put them around. And what you have to remember is this chicken is gonna cook, and the fat from the skin and the butter is all gonna come down onto this pan and contribute to the flavors of your veggies. But I still like to give things a little helping hand. So you can see I'm really not a perfect cook. Like it's messy. I figure it's easy to quickly do it and get it in the oven, because now I'm gonna be able to pretty much go chill. I've got a little bit of cleanup that I know my kids will help me with. And then we all just get to kind of hang out and play a game or do whatever while we're waiting for dinner. So I've got some kosher salt in here. I'm just gonna take this and season the top of the chicken. Again, we don't tend to eat the chicken skin, but it comes out nice and brown and looks gorgeous. So it looks like I'm putting a lot more on than I really am. So that's important to know. I see some leftover onion there. I'm gonna throw it here. And where'd my thyme go? So I've got this thyme. I'm just gonna see if I can pull off some of those leaves, sprinkle it on. And thyme is such a lovely flavor. Now this is not a necessity. So if you saw a recipe and it said, oh, you need to have fresh thyme. No, you don't. You could use a tiny bit of dry thyme and sprinkle it on. Or you could just be like, I guess our chicken tonight isn't gonna have any thyme, and it's no big deal. All right? I feel like that's like the version to a song, or like a song. So yeah, that's good enough for me. And so voila, we now have slapshot chicken, also known as spatchcock chicken. We've slapped it together. We're gonna shoot it into the oven, and then we're gonna slap it on the table, and hopefully everybody will enjoy. So this is gonna go in for about an hour. You're cooking the chicken until the thickest part of the breast comes out at 160 degrees. This is my most favorite digital thermometer ever. I can press it, and once, it's not on right now, but once I'll check the chicken, and then you need to let it sit. I will probably come back once and check the veggies. If I need to move anything around, if they're getting a little bit too caramelized near the edge, I'll just move them around. But other than that, it's easy peasy. But nothing's easy the first time you do it. So trust me, the first time I did this, it took me a lot longer than it did just showing you how to do it right now. So with practice, you get quicker, you feel more confident. You can experiment with your slice or your seasonings. And the other thing that I sometimes do, I just want to show you, is I'll take thin slices of lemon, and I also, for extra flavor, might just slide them into the breast there. If you don't like lemon, don't do that. If you do, it's a nice little flavor. So there we go. I'm gonna wash my hands and throw it in the oven, and hopefully you can tell me how my cooking demo worked for you. Okay, bye for now.